Hi, my name is Eden Silva Quinto, and I founded our Guerrilla Theater program here at Eastside Arts Alliance. So what is Guerrilla Theater? Guerrilla Theater derives its meaning from a survival approach by third world communities, usually peasant farm workers or just poor people, folks who are typically being invaded by an outside force, usually with more material resources.
Acá sacamos a los policías, chingue su madre, que maten al que sea.
So it has been the strategy of these folks to survive by using their land, their knowledge of their land, using the little resources that they have, whatever kind of weapons that they have, to survive. And more attack the vulnerabilities of their opponent than exhaust all their resources. So guerrilla theater, similarly, is about being resourceful, is about being strategic, about being creative and using what you have to achieve an objective. Your tool is you. Your tool is the space that you're in, and whatever and whoever is around you, you interact with them in order to get your message across.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, is that a gang sign? Hands in the air, now!
The key thing for guerrilla theater is about having a message, about having people, a person who's willing to speak up and tell their story and challenge the oppressive systems we live in.
Get to work, boy! Now get out! Get to work, boy! Now get out!
The goal is to get that audience to empathize, to think about what the message is that's being expressed, and find themselves connected to the struggle that underlies these messages. Guerrilla theater has a long history in national and international global movements. A key one is the grape strike in Delano, California during the 1960s. There were farmers who protested their working and living conditions. Folks were trying to unionize. They were trying to organize themselves in order to ensure that they could fight for their rights and have better living, working conditions.
Thousands and thousands of people are living like this, and they're farm workers. I mean, I can remember this when I was a kid. We used to do this, just settle for anything.
At the beginning of the grape strike, Luis Valdez started Teatro Campesino, or the Workers' Theater. And so they brought guerrilla theater, this tool, to their community. The farm workers created stories, created plays while along the picket lines to dissuade people from crossing and breaking the strike. These stories illustrated the ways that they were being exploited, what their lives and their working conditions were like. Having no budget, they had to be very resourceful. So they would use flatbed trucks and rove around through the fields and perform right on the flatbed truck, or go into the fields to the workers and ask them, what did the boss say to you? And they would respond back, oh, he said this, and how did he say it to you? And next thing you know, everyone's acting. Beyond entertainment, guerrilla theater was a tool for recruitment, to recruit new leaders, to recruit new organizers, and to bring people into the union, but more importantly, this movement. And this movement grew to over 2,000 workers united. They were able to engage in a collective bargaining agreement, effectively ending the strike. Through theater, they were able to unite and remain committed to a struggle for dignity, respect, and political power. The farm workers' struggle helped launch the Chicano movement along with the Chicano arts movement, which fought for autonomy and self-determination of Mexican Americans. Teatro, along with murals, music, prints, and other forms of art, were used out of necessity in order to clarify how folks got here, how they were already here, what life was looking like for them, and what they wanted life to look like. The model that Teatro Campesino used back during the 1960s grape strike is as critical today as it was then.
Let me please search warrant.
Over the years, we've seen increasingly repressive conditions for undocumented workers. Today, Chicano and third world immigrants are still the majority of the exploited workforce of this country. Many of these workers still lack power, political voice, proper wages, healthy work conditions, voting rights, and the full benefits of citizenship. Eastside Arts Alliance has been a part of the struggle to address these issues, and one of our sister organizations, Mujeres Unidas y Activas, had a set of women, their organizers, their community members, who were addressing anti-immigration legislation and later on domestic workers' rights.
We are a grassroots organization of immigrant Latina women that work for the dual mission of personal transformation and building community power. We're working on a legislative campaign that would give rights to domestic workers who have been historically excluded from labor laws in the United States. Things like being able to sleep 8 hours in a night and get the rest that you need, or being able to take a 10-minute break, or take a lunchtime to eat your food and nourish yourself for the rest of your workday, are things that many of us take for granted, and we sometimes aren't even aware that there are many workers who don't even have the right to those protections.
Right now we're just practicing. I was brought in to help them think about their story, to learn how to do theater, how to tell your story in a succinct way, in a collective way, in a way that made sense not only for your audience, but in the area that they were performing. And we sat and we talked and we played and we thought and we laughed. And a lot of times we'd cry because they would tell their stories of arriving or moving through space to get to this country. They would tell the stories of the treatment that they face as domestic workers and tapped into the key messages that they wanted to convey so that their message would get across and so that communities that don't readily relate could, and then could also join in their movement and in their struggle.
Ya que muchas veces como trabajadoras hemos sido humilladas por nuestros propios empleadores, física y mentalmente, y muchas veces nosotras como trabajadoras al llegar a nuestras casas y al recibir este tipo de maltratos, llegamos a las casas y todo ese rabia y coraje, desafortunadamente lo descargamos con nuestros hijos, con nuestra pareja, y pues eso es una manera de que como trabajadoras nos afecta.
Hoy tenía un juego de soccer y no fuiste, te estuve esperando allí que fueras a verme.
Ay, hija, yo estoy bien cansada. La señora no me pagó el dinero. Nosotros necesitamos dinero, hija. Tú sabes que tenemos que pagar la renta. Tú necesitas cosas.
Our members were really tied to the story. It was really their very personal experiences that they were putting out there, and sometimes it was really hard for them to remember things that had happened and to say it out loud, you know, in front of even just a circle of folks, much less get ready to show the whole world what they had gone through. And we've been able to turn that into a story, turn that into a way to begin healing from some of the traumas that people face.
Para mí ha sido importante usar el teatro porque es una manera más fácil de dar el informe o dar la información a las demás trabajadoras. Y el verlo, el estar ellas viendo el teatro, para ellas mismas se reflejan en el papel que nosotras estamos en el momento haciendo. Y para nosotras es bien importante que la gente conozca más de lo que realmente lo que sí se está viviendo en cuestiones que muchas veces solo pasa detrás de puertas.
Yo necesito mi dinero, tengo que cobrar mis gastos.
Pues yo siempre te he pagado con cheques personales y yo no sé por qué cuál será la razón que tú no los puedes cambiar.
Yo les hago un buen trabajo, llego a mi casa muy cansada, de dolor de espalda, de oler esos olores tan fuertes que me dan para limpiarle su casa. Yo ya estoy cansada, yo ya no sé qué hacer.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Sonia y mi compañera es María y somos de Mujeres Unidas y Activas y somos un grupo que estamos trabajando para los derechos de las trabajadoras.
Talking about our histories and talking about our cultures and where we come from and trying to really lift that up, our experiences and who we are, and bring that into the work. I think that's really important.
¿Qué pensaste, abusador? ¿Qué pensaste? ¿Qué pensaste, abusador? ¿Qué pensaste?
This is the most critical aspect of guerrilla theater. The process of telling our stories, understanding that we are interdependent, and with that lens, working together to take care of each other and create solutions, create the lives we would like to live, and the world we want to live in.